Good morning. It is 6:14, just turned 15 a.m. on Monday, August 10th, 2015. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I was worried that I was going to be super tired this morning because I stayed up to watch the True Detective Season 2 finale. And that had me up a little bit later than I would normally want to stay up on a work night, but perhaps because I really caught up on sleep over the weekend, I'm doing all right. It also is potentially connected to my having tried to cut back on the amount of caffeine that I'm having. I think I mentioned that part of the reason for my doing that is that I sometimes get some stomach upset stuff, and that did seem to actually be improving, and contrasted with that part of the story, I did actually have a bunch of Mountain Dew yesterday, and the stomach stuff, it's not bad at all, but I noticed a slight reversal of the trend where it was better. So I'm thinking I'm on the right track as far as reducing the intake there. I'm also doing probiotics, kefir. Good stuff. Where was it? Oh, True Detective. So season 2, I'm certainly not the only person to have registered some displeasure. I don't know, displeasure is not even the right word. There was just big, long stretches of this season that were so boring. It did kind of pick up towards the end. The last 3 episodes were more exciting. But the problem was that it had been boring enough previously that there was a lot of stuff that I didn't actually pay very close attention to. And as a result, I think I lacked context for some of the things happening in the last few episodes, because I hadn't been giving the show my full attention while watching it in previous episodes. And, I put that on the show. There are plenty of shows that hold my attention while I watch them, and this one did not. So, disappointing follow-up. And it does raise in my mind, though, the question... There are lots of shows or movies or video games for that matter. In fact, it's even a very prominent issue in video games where you say, well, if you can just get past the boring beginning part, then it gets really good. Or if you make a tiny bit of noise in the morning, Luna! Luna, come. Luna, come. Oh, my God. Luna, come. What? Yeah. All right. Yeah, so stories where if you just get past the beginning part. Luna, please stop. Good girl. Down. Down. See what a good girl? Good girl. All right. Bonus puppy. If you can just get past the beginning... This is definitely an issue with video games, and Final Fantasy 13 was kind of a notorious example where about 13 hours, sometimes more, depending on how you were playing, into the game changes up. And so a lot of the complaints people had about the game being super linear, really it stops being like that after a certain point. But you have to play for a long time for it to get to that point, and so... It raises the question of just, there are some pieces of entertainment that if you do make yourself suffer through the first bits, then you are rewarded for having done so. But certainly the ideal would be something that is not actually boring at first, you know, or something that you don't have to get through at the beginning. And I have mixed feelings because on the one hand, I feel like there's too much entertainment out there today to subject yourself to anything that isn't entertaining throughout. And while that's largely true, there are certainly several things that I've enjoyed in the past where I wasn't enjoying it all the way through, but then I was really glad that I stuck with it. I don't know, how do you guys feel about shows or video games or stories like that, where do you have a prime example of something that you at first thought you weren't going to like it and you kind of had to stick in there and stick with it and then it got really good? I don't know. Talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.